The use of the artificial intelligence in expert systems. The idea of machine being intelligent and performing the human-like function inspire both excitement and fear. The aims of the chapter is to outline some of the social, ethical, legal, and professional issues associated with the use of the artificial intelligence in the real world. Intelligence machines are devices that simply exhibit intelligence behaviors and claim of the intelligence in respect of the computer overplay. In these chapters, we are examining the means arguments for all against intelligence computing. We look at the issues relevant to computing professionals in areas of design implementations in management. Finally, we look at the issue relevant to computing professional in the areas of designs, implementation in the management, and as we are over the chapters outlined in the ethical dilemma. Origins of AI and expert system. Artificial intelligence or AI began with it was released that computers could perform problem solving activities and performing certain functions in is faster, more reliable way than the human. In the other words, they could be used to replace some human mental operations. Two areas of the research emerged, one trying to achieve some replications of the human intelligence, example artificial intelligence, and the other trying to use human intelligence, such as in the forms of expert knowledge, combining with the computations to improve provides fast and reliable information expert. An intelligence machine, an academic working in the field of AI could see similarities between a computational aspect of the human mind and the way of this machine works. The reasoning behind the ideas of the intelligence computers runs like something like this. Step 1. Logic and relationalities are the properties of the human thought, and the logical argument and the properties of the computation. Therefore, the human thinking can be replicated by the computational methods. Step 2. A human thinking is created with intelligence, and a computer can be replicated the human thinking. Therefore, the computer can be intelligent. Expert system. So far we have been discussing only one aspect of the machine intelligence. That is, we are the computer used to replicate aspect intelligence behavior. A second approach to its put intelligence into computers. Rather than trying to get computers to exhibit intelligence, attacks spread with the tremendous difficulties. Developers concentrated of the creating knowledge-based system. The ideas is simple. Obtain expert knowledge from, for example, a doctor or lawyers, and put the knowledge into the database. The properties of the computation, speed, research, pattern matches can be utilized at maximum advantage. So, for example, medical diagnosis can be generated from the database of the sign, symptoms, and example cases. But who get made blame with mistake are made? The debates on the computer intelligence. Naturally, if the computer scientists are to try to replicate intelligence, they need to have some idea of what will be considered intelligent. Two opposing points of computer intelligence. The first is a test of a computer intelligence. Second, denies that computer can be intelligence at all. One of the most influential tests of the computer intelligence came from Alan Turing, a British mathematician. Put in simply, he suggested if a person could be fooled into thinking they are having a conversation with another person, when in fact they are conversing with a machine, then the machine will consider exhibit intelligence. His idea took shape in what later becomes known as the Turing test. These particular ideas influenced the research and debates for many years. The philosophers John Searle has argued against these ideas of computer intelligence. He claims that computers are the simplest symbols of manipulators and cannot be said to exhibit intelligence at all. He explained his positions by the using example now commonly now as the Chinese room scenario. An explanation of Charlie Chinese room scenario. Suppose a man in inside in a room which has a gap under the door. Through this gap, He received a sheet of the paper from someone outside. No other form of communication is impossible. The sheet of the paper had Chinese symbols right on them in the text before his individual. It is translate the symbols in the some other language, such as English. To do this, he simply look up the tables and the walls, write down an equivalence of the Chinese symbol in the acquired language. He deemed the passes that under the doors to the person waiting outside. This figure is the summary of the essential ability for intelligence by Hofstadter. What was the aims of the Turing test? Turing test means a method of a AI that probably tests if a computers are capable to think or not like a human. In short, this application tests how the computers work in intelligence. Question: what is the another names for the Turing test? Lisa was another names of Turing test, which interacts it also stimulates conversion. For the third question, explain how the Turing test is carried out. A Turing test works with an interrogator asking a test of subject a series of the questions. Each party is kept in a separate area, so the physical contact is no physical contact is allowed. The responses given by the test subject are evaluated based on whether answer can discriminate between whether it a human subject would give the responses or not. Last questions. Do experts believe it's a good test? Most experts have come to agree over time that the Turing test is not a good way to prove machine intelligence, as the constraint of the test can easily be a game, as was the case with both Eugene Gotham, who allegedly passed the test of a few years.